Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the SmackDown Live Recap. I'm excited because I get to see Spider-Man tonight, but first...
Oh, you do?
I do. We got to talk about the SmackDown Live that happened last night. I'm your host, John Rocha.
To one of those? Is it too late?
I already gave a +1 to somebody.
No, not with you. Like through Collider? Is there a way to do that?
There was a list, but I don't know.
I didn't get invited.
You sit right behind Dennis. In front of Dennis. I don't know how you don't hear this going on, but that's the CEO of the Pro Wrestling Sheet right there. Ryan Satin, how are you, man?
I am doing great. Well, I was doing great until I learned you're all going to be seeing Spider-Man and I'm not tonight.
Did we all get to interview Batista? you got to take the yin with the yang, man.
Fair, but I'm doing great. I'm doing good. I got my coffee, as we were talking about before we started.
Ready to go.
And, I liked last night's episode of SmackDown.
Yeah.
So, obviously there's things I'm going to pick apart.
Okay.
But, and it wasn't like, there wasn't, I don't think it was bad, and it wasn't like necessarily like the best show ever, but I wasn't like, I don't recall being like,
yeah.
When it was over, I don't recall being like, oh, that show sucked.
Right. This was a consistently good level of SmackDown Live, and I like that. There was no real big thing that happened.
No,
but
it was a very passable episode.
Yeah, very, very much so. We started out with the highlights from Raw, talking about what happened with Shane McMahon and McIntyre and Roman Reigns, and how The Undertaker showed up. Well, and then they go to Shane, who's in the back live, and he says, nobody better get on my bad side, because I'm pissed today. And only came out one time from that back area. So he was back there doing all that jazz.
You say like one time like it was a quick appearance. He made his presence felt later in the show.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
But I've said it in the past, and I stand by it. I like when Shane does these backstage pre-tapes, even if it's live and it's on a teleprompter, whatever. It looks less like he's reading for some reason. He does not. So to me, I don't think they're live. But they could be. I don't know.
He's in his element.
He's much more in his element there, and he can read what they want him to get across. And I feel like he's less nervous back there. But and he's starting to gain his footing as like this heel, best in the world persona as things progress. But yeah, I liked the opening. I did think it was a good opening and set the tone for things.
Yeah, really did. And we had the New Day come out. They do their jazz. Kofi talks about being champion, his best time of his life. Says he's mad about the Samoa Joe attacks. He's not going to be chum for the shark. And then Ziggler interrupts. And Ziggler tells him how he barely won and that he's not, that this is wrestling is his life. Well, don't tell the people who do improv with him here in LA, but he feels like wrestling is his life. It's the only thing he lives and breathes for. And then says that he spoke to management in the back, probably Shane, who's pissed, and said he wanted a 2 out of 3 falls match later in the night so he can get a shot at being the third man in this battle coming up, Extreme Rules with Samoa Joe and Kofi, and make it a triple threat match. What do you think of the promos back and forth?
One of the things I liked about this promo was that Kofi Kingston did a good job of building up Samoa Joe in it.
Yeah.
He did a really good job of keeping his integrity, as the champion and all that stuff, but really doing a good job of painting the picture of Samoa Joe being a shark in the water and what it's like to kind of like be in the clutch, in the coquina clutch.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really good. It made Joe seem like a threat, and that's always good. When you can cut a promo where you're still building up your opponent, that's always a plus to me. The Dolph Ziggler stuff, I'm starting to get past.
It's filler, right?
It's so filler at this point. And we already had kind of started the transition to Samoa Joe. I just didn't really. I was like, when he came out, it was just kind of like a groan to me almost. And I like Dolph Ziggler, and also the match was really good.
Yeah, later on down the line.
And we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But just this part, I was just like, this is he's done with this.
I think if there's one complaint I have last night, it's that. It's this whole moving forward but stepping back. Moving forward but stepping back. It happened in 2 or 3 situations or programs that I just didn't like either. So this situation too, same thing. When Ziggler came out, I'm like, he already beat you in the steel cage. What's there left to accomplish?
He beat you Super Showdown. He beat you in the steel cage.
Yeah, what do you want?
What are we? And also, it's one of those things where this is one of those examples of wins and losses mattering.
Yes.
It's not so much like stats.
Right.
25 wins, 13 losses type of shit. It's not that. It's this, where if you have a guy like Dolph Ziggler who you have away for a little bit, you bring him back, and then he's just immediately losing to the champion over and over and over again at pay-per-views, well then his words ring hollow.
Yeah.
And at that point, you don't care about seeing them in the match. They've done nothing to make Dolph be a credible threat. in this feud whatsoever. If anything, he's just sounded like a total complainer. And I realize it's not him, it's the character and the way it's being written, but there's just, and I realize they've even put him in matches against other people, you know, Xavier Woods and stuff, but I don't feel like this is rebuilding Dolph Ziggler at all. If anything, he's starting to get go-away heat again, which is like, that's not what you want for him. And he was hot right away. We talked about how much we were pumped on it, but he's gone back to being the exact same thing. Yeah,
do you think it would have helped if there had been no contest endings to any of these 2 pay-per-view matches, so it keeps that possibility up in the air?
It would have helped.
Yeah.
It definitely would have helped.
I wonder. I know that frustrates fans, but back in the old days, we had no contests all the time.
Yeah, I don't
end pay-per-views.
Yeah, dirty finishes, I don't have a problem with it. You know, as long as it builds the story, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
But you know, Kofi beat him clean.
Yeah, he did.
In the cage, you know? So, like, what you gonna do, you know? Like, he outsmarted you. That's the whole point of a cage match.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. I just, this part of it, I just was like, ugh. Next, please.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, then we get we got ourselves a tag team match after this, just out of nowhere. New Day taking on Bryan and Rowan, and it went back and forth for a little bit. Good match. I like how Xavier Woods acquitted himself really well outside the ring, ended up stopping Rowan from sliding in there, and then the New Day did their midnight move and took care of business, but then got attacked by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and which led to Heavy Machinery coming out, which led to an impromptu 8-man tag match, which Heavy Machinery ended up winning kind of quickly here in this situation and standing for. Me, I'll give my thoughts on this. I like the first match. The second match was too damn quick for me, but I like the idea of Heavy Machinery and New Day coming together. That could be some fun interactions and promos and one-upsmanship in terms of the humor that we can play with, or that they can play with to make us laugh.
They had good ones in the past. Like, they had that one when they were backstage and they were at the blender, if I recall. And Becky Lynch came out, she drank the thing, was like, oh, and made fun of it or whatever. And I agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. The short match thing is just the same thing. It's that commercial break edict thing where it's like, no wrestling during the commercial, and they didn't want to do every match being 2 out of 3 falls. So it's like quick match and quick match, but it's weird when the same people are in the second match.
Well, what's the point of having the second match if it's going to be a quick match? It does nothing.
That's why, to me, if you want to go to this formula, if this is what you want, you have to do more squash matches.
Right, like, and also, go ahead. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, no, go ahead.
No, and here's the deal. If you have so much talent on the roster, why are you giving certain talent 2 matches a night when other talent needs TV time to build?
Especially like you already ended that match, just like go to a squash match after that. Like, to me, Sonya, and we'll talk about it later, but well, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. But this is but for this match itself,
they did wrestle during the break.
Did they?
Yeah, they wrestled during the break on this one. Oh, they're like, I think there was a break.
Was it in the box thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then see, that even more doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why do you need to do that if you can use that commercial break thing? Then it's even less. It makes even less sense when they do it on SmackDown.
This is a policy thing now, right?
Like, yes, a recent thing. Right? I have a hard time believing it's going to last.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
But one thing I did want to say about this match without complaining is that it's crazy to me how Rowan, who has been on the roster for so long, is really blossoming in this tag team with Daniel Bryan. And he's been in so many tag teams, but I do feel like he was someone who was pigeonholed into Wyatt family member D. Like, he was the least popular Wyatt family member, always least used, least cared about. He was like the black sheep of the people, which makes sense with the mask and stuff, but I didn't really think about. But to me, it's interesting how this is one of those things where, like, he's starting to get to be himself a little bit, where he's wearing the metal shirts, and you can see him coming alive more. Like, he feels more authentic in the ring. He feels like more of a presence in the ring. And honestly, this is the most potential I've seen in Erick Rowan character probably ever.
Yeah.
Like, to me, if they continue on like this, he has potential down the line for a legit singles run, I think.
I think it's also possible here that he found the right tag team once and for all. Because you're right. Luke Harper, way more personality. Strowman, Wyatt. The thing is, Rowan is not a in-your-face kind of guy. his personality naturally is chill, handle business, and roll. Is sometimes wrestlers come into this situation and they're not like, put all the lights on me type of vibe. They just don't have that instinct. And Rowan seems to me like he's one of those guys that doesn't. And so having Daniel Bryan be the one kind of taking him along and Rowan getting to do his destructive stuff outside the ring and still show his abilities in the ring, it's fantastic.
I think you're right.
It works all around.
It's similar to like acting where there's a straight man in the comedy. You know, he very much is like a straight man type thing where he helped be like the bruiser for Bray Wyatt.
Right.
You know, he was like a muscle type thing. But I always felt, you know, I love Luke Harper.
Right.
But I always felt like their tag team together never worked. And they kept going back to it, even with the Bludgeon Brothers. And it wasn't bad. I just felt like they were too similar. And Luke Harper is way more, is on a different level. But I shouldn't say, but I just, in the ring together, they were just too similar, I feel like. And they never, neither of them really helped push the other one up. You know, and
same styles.
And they're quiet. They don't talk.
Right.
You know, so it's really hard. And like you said, you know, one's chill.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have the one that's talking, well, you get kind of the thing. And that's why Bray Wyatt worked for them. But when they didn't have Bray Wyatt there, I don't think it worked as well. And I think that's why you're right. I think having Daniel Bryan there to do the heavy lifting on the microphone while Rowan just gets to be muscle, it is helpful.
Yeah.
And then so yeah, the second match with Heavy Machinery, man. Heavy Machinery are really, really starting to come together. They're one of those ones like Elias, where, you know, didn't have this like glorious NXT run or anything. They were there, you know, that I think that they're going to be big deal on the roster. You know, they're the whole blue collar thing connects with people. You know, Otis, while great, you know, kind of overshines Tucker, who was also really good. He did a fucking moonsault the other day. Was that this week or
that was this weekend? It was this weekend.
Was it this weekend? Okay, this weekend.
At the
and I was like, whoa. You know, Tucker is actually really talented too, and I think that they are starting to blossom.
But Tucker's not one of those guys that seems to have the personality to override Otis.
No.
So it's good. Like, because Otis will do the jokes and do all that kind of stuff. Tucker just comes in and does his business.
It's almost similar to Daniel Bryan and Erick Rowan, like we were just saying.
Very similar.
You know, like Otis does the heavy lifting in terms of the charisma, but Tucker's there to help things along.
And you can tell they have a genuine friendship. Like, you can tell it feels genuine, their connection.
Oh, yeah.
You don't sense an irritation or a gap in like connection between them. And so that really works for the tag.
I mean, they hang out all the time. You see the videos they're posting.
That's what I'm saying. It works.
And like the other day, Otis posted a picture of like him and Tucker's daughter, calling him like, he was like Uncle Otis or something like that. And how like he's always going to be there for her daughter, you know, for Tucker's daughter, and so they're like family at this point. So I love it. I love everything. This was really entertaining. I just agree with you. The short matches thing, to me, it's like, wow, that could have been a lot cooler. You didn't need to have that short of a match. People. One of the complaints was too short of matches. Now you've been like, well, how do we make it better? Shorter matches. And you're like, no, that's not what people were saying. That's not what people were saying at all.
It's almost like an epilogue to a novel. Like you read a whole novel, and then you're like, oh yeah, here's a little epilogue for you to finish everything. I was like, I didn't really need it. I was good. I really was good.
I finished the book. We're good. You ended it. What's this fuking epilogue
It's like a post-credit scene in the movie.
I don't think I've ever read an epilogue. I'm like, no.
Yeah, you're done.
I mean, I don't read a lot of books anymore, but...
Okay, let's move on. All right, well, we go backstage. Miz and Elias have a little back and forth there. Miz calls him bootleg Bob Dylan. Elias doesn't listen, keeps playing his music, and comes up with a little ditty about it as well. Elias early tries to tell him not to knock on Shane's door because he's a dead man walking if he does.
As we learned in the beginning, Shane's not to be messed with.
Yeah, Shane is in a bad mood. Then Miz leaves after telling Elias.
Sweaty and angry.
To tell Shane that. And then Shane comes out. A bit of a clumsy back and forth between them, I would say. And then he says, oh, definitely, he can fight me after he fights you in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Elias is excited for it, but I would have liked it better acting-wise and storyline-wise if Elias was a little uncomfortable about it. Like, that needs to start coming through a little bit, where he's like, hey, why do you keep using me as this kind of fodder for you? Like, that would be fun. It doesn't have to be big. Just a little bit of a something that lets you have a little mystery about the situation. And him just going, yeah, I'm down. That'd be great. As opposed to being like, yeah, no, totally. I'm in. Let's do it. Blah, blah, blah. Then you're like, oh, well,
I think the vibe they're trying to give with Shane right now, though, is almost like a Joffrey vibe, where like
King Joffrey.
Yeah, where it's almost like you don't want to like you don't want to have an ounce of what's the word I'm looking for, of like doubt,
dissension,
anything like that. Where like what Shane says goes. He's like Kim Jong Shane, you know. So like it's like like it reminds me of like you know that old SNL on Weekend Update where they used to have Kim Jong Un's friend like good friends. You remember that on Weekend Update?
They'd come out
and they'd be like, no, Kim Jong Un, he's great. He's great. But like sometimes, you know, and they did that whole thing, and I used to love that. It reminds me of that, where like I think that the vibe they're trying to get across is that like you can't do that with Shane.
But that's what I'm saying.
Because look how quickly he pushed other people aside.
But that's what I mean. That's why I feel like Elias needs a moment. Not that Shane can see it, just by himself.
Okay.
Like a little moment where he's like a little aside when Shane leaves the frame, maybe a little aside where he goes. Like something like that, just something little. I think it'd be good to have a little personality on him there. So then we get Elias versus Miz in a 2 out of 3 falls match for Miz to get a shot at Shane McMahon again. So we have this match. They go back and forth. Miz gets the first Elias gets the first pinfall thanks to Shane. Then Miz gets revenge. Which
did look cool. That like springboard to the knee reversal was cool.
It was cool. And then Miz gets it on the second go around. So there's 1-1. And then Shane gets in there, helps Elias, and Elias gets that second pinfall. And then they just gang up on Miz and beat the crap out of him. So much so that
because Miz got the second pinfall.
That's what I'm saying.
No, he didn't get a pinfall. Remember Shane like came in and attacked him, so Elias got DQ'd for the second
Elias
fall.
got DQ'd then.
And then they were like, we're gonna come back after the break to show you, the next pinfall or something like that. And then he
Elias
cheated again, and Elias won or whatever. This was too much. I'm sorry. I the first fall I was into like the little bit.
Yeah.
But these 2 out of 3 falls things are whatever. But then like this new rule that like there's a break in between falls. Like I realized that before the ref would kind of like make sure both people were good to go.
It's usually supposed to just go.
But no, if my memory serves me correctly, like there's in these kinds of matches, there's a pinfall.
Yeah.
Then the referee makes sure they both are up.
Yes.
But like there's usually not like this 5 minutes of the person being beaten down in between.
And then you ring the bell.
Or even like, I don't recall in a match where it's 2 out of 3 falls if someone gets DQ'd like that, it's just one of the falls. That didn't seem like something that's happened before. I feel like if there's a DQ, it's a DQ and it's over, not one of the falls.
I don't know offhand. It strikes, but it seems logical that it would be a fall for a DQ.
I get the logic.
Right.
But I don't recall that being like, there's rules here that we know of. You know what I mean? Like we follow certain rules, and I know they go away from certain ones, like holding the rope during a tag match and shit.
Right.
But the basic constructs of like the match, you can't just change that and not tell me there's some new change or something.
Well, I don't know. Lacey seems to change that whole match.
She's a crooked ref. That's the whole point.
All right,
is that she's a bad ref.
Fair.
These are actual officials.
Yeah, but Shane's their leader. So King Jong Shane, like you said,
true.
You can't contradict Shane.
True.
If Shane wants to roll, I'm surprised they got a DQ with Shane.
True.
So you know.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. But then if you do that, right?
Yeah.
To me, when I see that, I go back to 6 months ago where this is literally exactly what Baron Corbin was doing as general manager.
Yeah.
And then you went out there and you said the show sucked like that.
Yeah.
And now you've gone back doing the same thing and tossed out the rule book on wrestling matches that we have come to know our whole lives.
Yeah.
And so that to me is a bit much because they're literally doing, and I realize that maybe people didn't find Baron Corbin as much of a presence on TV as something as captivating or as some people might think Shane is. But I don't think Shane is captivating every part of the WWE universe either in the same role that Baron Corbin was in 7 months ago.
Right.
And so, I don't know, to me it's like you're literally just repeating something but with the rule books thrown out and it's not fun to watch. I don't think that Shane doing this repeated that anyone's like, oh, I'm loving Shane's antics. And I realize that he's a heel and you're not supposed to like it, but there's a fine line between not liking it and it just not making sense. Like, a narrative that just doesn't, why? What's happening?
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. I think this is one of those things we referred to at the beginning of the show, this idea of going backwards to go forward. Do we really care about the Miz Shane thing anymore?
No.
I don't think we do. It's a way to keep Miz in front of us, but all he's doing is getting beat down all the frickin' time. So even when he gets his comeuppance, it's not going to feel like anything.
No, and it's one of those situations where we were talking about like, it's like his win's not going to matter.
No, it's not going to matter.
It's not going to matter.
The universe is going to go, finally.
Yeah, no.
They're just going to be like, oh, great, this program is done.
And it's like the thing I was saying with the wins and losses mattering to a certain degree. Of like, he's gotten beaten up so many times that like that one win isn't like his big triumph and victory. It's more going to be like, okay, cool, we're done with this.
Right. It's like Marquez when he finally beat Pacquiao. It was like, great, yes, you finally beat Pacquiao, then it's all drugs. You're like, okay, never mind. So it's like, what's the point? And so to me, in the end, it's not going to matter, to be honest with you. All right, then we go backstage to see Nikki Cross. She's excitingly telling Alexa that she's lined up herself a match against Bayley. And if she wins, she is going to earn Alexa a shot at the championship again at Extreme Rules, not Nikki. Alexa,
which was an interesting wrinkle.
Yeah, but they're playing this thing kind of like Sandow and Miz. The beats are so similar.
True.
And essentially, it's probably going to lead to Nikki turning Alexa down the road. But this match was actually damn good. I thought Nikki had the upper hand at the beginning. She was really aggressive in the whole thing. Then Bayley fought back, and some of the heel moves from Bayley in this match were fantastic to see. Not heel, but certainly heel, and with a lowercase h. And it was shocking to see that Nikki won. And in the way she won, it was clean. It wasn't like a mistake. It wasn't some kind of interference by Alexa. It was a straight up clean win.
Was it a roll up, right?
She tried to roll up,
and then
Bayley did,
it back.
and Nikki didn't go over and kept her there.
That's what I thought, yeah.
And pinned her. And Bayley did some good acting here after the 3 count when they showed her in close up, and she was looking up at Nikki with a combination of surprise and hurt at the same time. And he was like, oh man. But Nikki, I think they're slowly moving Nikki into the face place because she's like so excited. The crowd was cheering, and she ran up to Corey Graves and she got on the phone to call Alexa. So they're certainly playing this angle that eventually when she turns on Nikki, Alexa rather, she's going to be a face.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're going that way now. Unless she helps Alexa win the title and they do the opposite of what you're thinking. Like you think that it's gonna boil over, but then eventually she just succumbs to Alexa and becomes her little pet kind of thing.
Yeah, but she didn't pull any heel moves in this match.
No.
So I was really surprised by that.
Yeah, I also, that one part in the match where Bayley went to do the outside dive and just like went right down on her back. Oh, that looked intense.
Yeah.
Good match. This was a good match.
She is so good, but Bayley's in a zone right now.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I look forward to her matches now. And in the past, I'd be like, oh, she's just going to get beat. But this looks like she's got that edge to her that I enjoy. Just kill those things, and she'll be fine.
They were still there.
They don't need them. You don't need them anymore.
They're whatever. They're a cool thing to see.
To me, they're like, hey, remember when I did this in NXT? As opposed to being like, I'm moving forward. Like I graduated high school, I'm in college now. And I feel like that's what needs to happen here with Bayley. Throw away that high school
like having
shit.
your high school posters in your college dorm room.
Throw away that New Kids on the Block poster. That's how old I am. Throw away that poster for God's sakes and go forward. So that's what I want is what I want. So I mean, I just enjoy
your New Kids on the Block poster, everyone. The 80s are over.
For God's sakes, it's over. No matter how much they're trying to bring it back, it's over.
Sorry, Joey McIntyre. You're done. You're done.
Sorry, Donnie Wahlberg. Anyway, so
go back to Wahlburgers. It's like Donnie Wahlberg has a New Kids on the Block poster up in the back room at Wahlburgers.
Signed.
I remember in college, signed by himself. He just signed.
Did you go to Wahlburgers in college?
No. In college, I remember like I had when I first moved to the dorms, I got there I think a week or two before my first roommate.
Yeah.
My freshman year in college, and I was living the life alone, no roommate, loving it. And then I remember one day I went to class and I came back from class and there was anime posters all over the walls.
Oh.
And I was like, oh man, and a bunch of teddy bears. Anime posters and a bunch of teddy bears. The definition of what you just said not to do.
Wow.
And I was like, oh no.
Is it co-ed dorm?
No, it was a guy.
It was a dude?
It was a dude. And I remember I was just like, oh no, this isn't going to be good. We have nothing in common. I can already tell this guy's got teddy bears here. Damn it. And then he was nice, but he was nice.
Okay.
But he was dating someone and she cheated on him, or he didn't want to leave her. So he left school.
Yeah.
And so I only had him as a roommate for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, because they don't replace that.
Well, no, they do.
Oh, they do? Oh.
I had him a room for 2 or 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and then he left. And then one day, like, I got a knock on my door from like 2 random girls. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, random girls want to come hang out with me. And so they were hanging out and just talking to me for a while. It was really random, but we just hung out.
Okay.
Because in college, in the beginning,
the place out.
You can kind of do that.
Oh, you go dorm to dorm.
Dorm to dorm or whatever, you know. And then they left. And then someone came knocking on my door like 2 minutes later. And it was Stephen Coletti, who was the lead on Laguna Beach.
Holy shit.
The first season. Well, first couple seasons of the show.
Right.
And he comes in, but the show hadn't aired yet.
Yeah.
And he comes in and he's like, hey man, I just want you to know I'm gonna be your new roommate. I sent these girls over here because I wanted to make sure you weren't a weirdo before I took this room. And so
the lead from Laguna Beach wants to make sure you're not a weirdo.
Well, because I think, so apparently I didn't go to orientation.
Right.
Apparently they were filming him at orientation, MTV. So like the whole school was like aware there was gonna be like this MTV star at school, and I wasn't at orientation, so I didn't know.
Right.
So there was apparently like this talk on campus that he was gonna be there because people were talking about Laguna Beach at the time because it was about to premiere.
Yeah.
And I didn't care about that kind of stuff at the time. And so he told me, I'm gonna be on this show, I'm gonna be your new roommate, hope it's not weird.
Yeah.
No problem. Great, nice meeting you. And then he leaves. And I went to my computer like, MTV.com to see like what Laguna Beach was. And then I clicked and I went to MTV.com and the homepage was just a giant banner of him and all his friends standing on the beach.
Wow.
Debuting like in 2 weeks, Laguna Beach. And I went like, whoa, 'cause I thought it was like a true life. Because I worked in like my dad, like I was around TV, so I wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, this guy's on the fucking front of MTV's homepage. And then he had keys at that point, and I just hear like, and the door opens, and I'm like looking at my computer, and it's just a big picture of him, and I'm like, and he just started laughing, and then like, yeah. And so my whole freshman year was about Laguna Beach and all that kind of, it was a wild first year.
You have stories? Yeah, I bet you have stories.
Oh, so many stories. Yeah. Lauren and LC, hanging out with Lauren and LC.
Okay.
I was on the first episode of season 2.
Wow.
Quick cameo.
Lauren Conrad?
Yeah, Lauren Conrad, Kristen Cavallari, who's she married to now? That football player guy?
Yeah, Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
Kristen Cutler now.
Kristen Cutler, right.
Yeah, hung out with all those guys. I got some fun stories.
Where was Audrina Partridge? What was she in?
That's The Hills.
The Hills.
And I was not involved.
I always get those confused.
I was not involved in The Hills at all.
Right.
They actually, before pitching it to LC, they pitched the same idea to Steven.
Because didn't Conrad go to both? Didn't Conrad go to the Hills?
Lauren Conrad was on both, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was getting
The Hills was
confused.
the spinoff from her spinoff
from Laguna Beach.
Of Laguna Beach. And with her going from school to the hills of Hollywood Hills to like start a new life, basically.
Start a new life.
Yeah. And so they initially pitched it to Steven of him and his friends, which I would have probably been one of those friends, but he turned it down, and then they went to LC.
Right.
Which is funny. I haven't watched the new one yet. I'm gonna watch it tonight. I'm excited.
You're ridiculous.
But I used to watch it because I used to watch every episode with them.
What new one tonight?
The Hills came back this weekend or
with
Monday.
The same people?
Everyone but LC.
Okay.
So it's like Heidi, Spencer.
Heidi Montag?
Yeah, Heidi, Spencer. They're all coming back. Yeah, they're all coming back. But like that whole first season of Laguna Beach.
Audrina Partridge is going to be in this?
Yeah.
Ceiling Eyes? Okay.
Yeah. That whole first season of Laguna Beach, they used to send us the tape. It was probably the DVD. I'm trying to remember how old we were. No, it might have been a tape still.
Tape with the New Kids on the Block poster on it. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
It could have been a VHS still. I'm not positive.
Certainly
No, it was
possible.
probably a DVD. It was probably a DVD.
Okay.
But they would send it to Steven in the mail. Not even email back then.
Wow.
They would send it to Steven in the mail every week, like 2 days before it aired. And then LC and Heidi would come over to our room.
I got to see this
They
guy.
would come travel over. They would come because they were both going to school in San Francisco too.
Right.
And Heidi and LC would come over to our room, and we'd watch the episode before it aired together. And Heidi was such a bitch. Even then, dude.
No
before
surprise.
before even the Hills, but she wasn't even on the Hills yet, and she was a bitch.
No surprise. They call him an actor. How can he be an actor?
He did One Tree Hill, and he's done other stuff since.
Oh, okay.
Let's get back to wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
I got way too
you brought it
sidetracked.
up.
No, I know. I just realized how sidetracked I got. What were you? How did I even get on?
You gotta. We're talking about New Kids on the Block. Somehow that made a connection. Somehow that made a connection.
The dorm posters.
I don't know how that made a connection.
Sorry,
All right,
Donnie
there we
Wahlberg.
go.
We'll get back on topic.
Well, backstage again, Carmella has a back and forth with Mandy and Sonya Deville. They're very catty back and forth between all three of them, which I thought was really funny. Say, yeah, I'll see you. Yeah, well, I'll see you. Yeah, well, I'll see you. Why don't you try winning something? All of that, which I thought was funny as hell.
Before the R-Truth part of this, right? 'Cause that's when R-Truth came up.
Before the R-Truth, yeah.
This is another one of those moments, and I don't know if you noticed it either, where Bray Wyatt's puppets were seen.
No, I didn't see the puppets.
She said something. I forget one of them said something, and in the background, like right when I forget the word they said, but they said something, and Ramblin' Rabbit popped up in the background and like looked around then went back down.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay,
Which
fine.
I like when they do that, because in a segment like this,
It's subtle.
To me, the backstage area is a very key element of the WWE product.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's a character of itself. It's kind of like the Muppets and all those kinds of things. Like it's like a part of the show almost, you know? And to me, when they can intersect multiple storylines and things that you know of in one thing, that's a huge plus. So you had the Ramblin' Rabbit, which only if you're paying attention so closely you notice. You've got the Carmella, Sonya, Mandy thing, and then you instantly transition that into the 24/7 stuff. Then Drake Maverick with his wedding stuff. I loved it. I thought this was all done so well.
Absolutely. Drake comes in and he just says, he says, I don't have a referee, R-Truth. I just want to talk to you about you destroying my life. And then R-Truth says,
kind of full sad promo.
Hornswoggle, I'm sorry. That moment broke me. I had to pause.
Every time he calls Drake Maverick Hornswoggle, it's the best. It's my new favorite thing.
It really is so good. And he holds him to his bosom and he says, okay, well, tell you what, why don't you get a referee and we'll let you. He's like, what, are you serious? And then and of course the referee's like right off camera, brings him in, and then R-Truth gets up from where he was about to lie down and goes, no way, man, psych. And then he says to him, I love this title more than you love your wife. Damn. And then walks off. By the way, I need that R-Truth shirt. That green 24.
For sale now?
Is it available?
Yeah, I think it's for sale now.
I'm gonna buy it today. That shirt was great. They rarely do shirts in different colors than black.
Yeah.
Which is so frustrating because I know most fans are overweight. I get it. Black is slimming. But God damn it, give me colors. So I got to get that green one. I can't wait. But this was so good, so well done. And I wonder where we're going to go for this, because then Drake gets run over by everybody else who's trying to get. Who are the two people at the end? The tag team with the pink and the frills running?
Oh, the Bollywood brothers.
The Bollywood brothers? Okay. They were coming at the. I don't see them that much. So
they're on 205 Live now.
Oh, yeah. I don't watch them. So, yeah, well, there you go. So, but they run over Drake, and Drake is just sitting there all depressed. So what do you think this is leading to?
I don't know, but honestly, I love it.
Yeah.
This is one of the most captivating things in WWE right now.
Thoroughly agree.
Drake Maverick's descent into depression. I almost wonder if it's going to go like the Laurel Van Ness route, like when Chelsea Green was on Impact, and like her marriage, her wedding getting fucked up on one of the episodes. Started this like downward spiral where she became this like alcoholic crazy bride type thing. And I almost wonder if they're going to go that route, where this is just going to like drive Drake Maverick into a deep.
This could turn him into a star.
It is going to turn him into a star.
Stumbling into matches.
Unless it turns into
depressed.
into a Tim White situation from back in the day when he was like, wasn't he like always killing himself or something like that? I know they can't go that
was
deep.
Fucking dark.
It was dark.
I remember
and
that.
I know they can't go that deep with it in 2019, but I hope it doesn't go that dark. And I hope it. I'm really enjoying everything they're doing with it.
I think that was the terrible thing to Tim White.
Yeah, but you don't forget it.
Yeah, you don't. And I didn't like in WCW that, was it Danny Davis or whatever, who had brought his kids out and they fired him in front of his wife. And his kids.
Yeah.
Oh, that was horrible. The NWO fired him in front of his wife and kids. I was like, it's too far, boys. It's too far. It's a little too real. People got to pay bills, man.
Dial it down.
Yeah. I get to your heels. That's a little too real. But we get the match here with Sonya Deville and Ember Moon. This is continuing the feud between Ember Moon and Mandy Rose. Has been building for a little bit. Where's Ember Moon? I thought I heard them mention that she just had a child. Am I confused on this? Okay, good. Maybe I misunderstood. Corey, the fight it's not a long match.
See, okay, so I wanted to bring it up earlier, but I should probably wait. We're gonna get to it.
Yeah.
This was one of those things where I feel like a squash match would have done so much more for everyone here. For Sonya, it would have just made her look dominant, even though she did look dominant here against Ember Moon. But for most part, like I hated seeing Ember Moon done like this.
Yeah.
The match was so short. It made Ember Moon look like a jobber.
Yeah.
And I know that she's not.
Right.
She's not. She's a very talented wrestler.
Yes, she is. She's a damn good wrestler.
And her losing to Sonya in minutes made her look like enhancement talent. And I don't think you should make I'll talk about it all the time, but the independent revenue streams, to me, that's like a hammer down. That's just how you ruin anyone's independent revenue stream by having them lose in a few minutes like that on TV clean. I mean, Sony didn't do anything to cheat, nothing,
No, Mandy cheated.
Well,
distracting her,
I guess.
And then
they
Sonya threw her into the spring post.
But that's not cheating. That's just like being a good
I didn't say Sonya cheated.
Yeah.
But Mandy did a little bit.
I mean, a little bit.
You distracted someone, that's cheating.
But it's legal.
It's the job of the manager.
It's legal, though.
Of course it's legal.
It was legal cheating.
Bobby built his
foundation. It wasn't
foundation.
like when Drew McIntyre runs in and like Claymore kicks someone and rolls out type thing. It was just like a, hey, if anything, it made her look like a jobber. Like I was saying, because she let herself get distracted that easily next to the post that's going to knock her the fuck out. You know?
I think on the heels of what happened with Naomi on Raw, this is a bad look for both of them to be put in this position, to be jobbing out to these people or losing, getting pinned and losing in 2 matches in a row like Naomi did on Monday night, and then having Ember lose here when she just got back or whatever. I don't like it at all when they mess with her electronic system. Like she's not getting advantage over them. It's not a back and forth.
No.
They're really pushing Mandy and they're using her to push Mandy. So
and they're kind of like
the quicksanding Ember.
They're quicksanding Ember Moon.
Not cool.
Another note on this.
Yep.
I do think Sonya looked great here.
Yes.
I'm loving the push for Sonya right now.
Me too.
Are they doing a lesbian angle with the two of them though? Is
with
that
who?
Weird to
Mandy
ask.
And Sonya?
Yeah.
I don't think I have not sensed that.
Did you not notice at the end of the match when she did the like on the side of her face type thing?
I think that's their way of messing with people because they're such good friends. I think that's just their way of messing with people. Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know.
I
don't know. I think
it would be a massive mistake if they did that.
She's wearing the pride flag.
Yeah, but then what? Oh, she's just gonna find a straight person to drive like that.
She's gonna turn a straight person.
That's what I'm saying. That plays right into the most basest of stereotypes. That all like on the male gay side, every straight dude's like, oh, he might find me attractive in the foxhole. That kind of bullshit. So I would hate it if they played
like,
that.
Oh, 2 girls can't be friends when one of them's a lesbian.
Yeah,
or one of them's gonna turn the other one.
When Sally met Sally. No, we're not gonna do that.
I don't know. I'm interested to see what the point of that was because it was clearly intentional.
Yeah, but I think it's their way of like messing because they like messing with people. We'll see. I will find out, Ryan. That's for damn sure. I have a feeling. All right, so Finn Balor is backstage as well, getting interviewed, and they're asking him who is next for Finn. And he's, I almost forgot he's the IC champ. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been a bit since we've seen him. And then Shinsuke walks in. Speaking of someone I almost forgot about,
both guys. It was a segment where you go like, oh yeah, what have these guys been doing?
Exactly.
Where have they been?
And the funny thing is, I remember seeing the promo for Extreme Rules during Stomping Grounds, and they showed Shinsuke, and I'm like, wait, is he coming back? What are they going to work him in? Sure enough, he's coming back. So it'll be him and Finn, I imagine, who are going to line it up at Extreme Rules. I'm looking forward to that. They've fought before. I hope this is a real extreme match. This could be fun between these two guys.
Simple, effective.
Yep. No words said.
No. Well, Finn had the stuff in the beginning, but once Shin came up, yeah. I thought that Finn's reaction was a little, I don't know, like too jokey afterwards instead of taking it seriously. But regardless, effective. I liked it.
Yeah.
Shinsuke looked cool.
Yeah.
He looked cool when he came in, looked too sweet to the title and walked out and made him look cool. I'm excited to see this match.
Yeah. I don't know where we're going to go with Finn. I really don't know. I wonder, he had that shot with Lesnar. I don't know if he's ever going to pop up again to have a shot at the main titles. We'll see. But I don't know. It felt weird. He was overshadowed by Shinsuke, who didn't say a damn word.
Hopefully the amount of time they've used him lately isn't an indication of where they see him because he really hasn't been used much.
That's the thing. That's unfortunate. Don't wear tight shorts. Anyway, Aleister Black does another promo begging for someone to knock on the door. And lo and behold, after it goes dark, someone knocks on the door. Now, I want to get your thoughts on this because I have read online that a lot of people are starting to get in that Randy Orton camp, that it's Randy Orton knocking on the door. Do you think that's true? Would you like to see that? No.
That's not who I think it is.
Who do you think it is?
It's not that I wouldn't want to see it.
Right.
I think it's Bray Wyatt.
What? Really?
I think that if
Bray and Alistair? Who's the face here?
If I'm right.
Okay.
This could have been something that they have been planning for a long time now.
Okay.
Because Bray Wyatt's whole thing has been let me in, the door, all that kind of stuff. He's been talking about a door and let me in and all this kind of stuff, right?
Oh my God.
And then, then Alistair, and if you recall, Alistair Black was drafted to Raw in the Superstar Shakeup. And then randomly, without any announcement, they moved him back to SmackDown, where I believe Bray Wyatt is, right?
Yeah, Bray.
So to me, and I was told at the time that there was a very specific reason for it, but the person wouldn't tell me what that specific reason was. They said it was something very deep internal. They couldn't say. And then, so then Alistair Black is off TV for just a little bit. Then he starts these promos. Someone come into the door. Someone knock on the door. Someone. And it doesn't really seem like they're connected.
Yep.
But then Bray Wyatt finishes his vignettes. The Firefly Funhouse seems to be over. And now Bray Wyatt is infiltrating WWE backstage. All week we saw his puppets backstage, right? Popping up in various spots. There was one other time during SmackDown last night where when Daniel Bryan was walking into the ring, Huskus popped up too, looking around while Daniel Bryan and Rowan were walking to the ring. So now, at that point, we've now seen all the puppets backstage.
Right.
And then someone backstage knocked on Aleister Black's door.
Damn.
To me, that seems like it's a very good indication it could be Bray Wyatt. However, I realize there are other people, and it's maybe not as clear as I thought it was, but to me, that seemed to kind of like all those pieces seem to make sense. And you asked who's the heel, who's the face. Bray Wyatt's, I feel like neither of them are really a heel or face. They're both kind of towing that line that we've been seeing lately. Like Bray Wyatt's more of a heel, classic heel. But I don't know if Aleister Black is technically a heel. He's just like a really confident goth, I don't know if he's technically a heel at this point. He's never been positioned as a heel in the past.
Yeah.
So that's my guess. I think it's gonna be. I think it's Bray Wyatt.
And they've been ramping up this because Zelina on her social media has been posting more and more pictures of Aleister. And I think there's a way I think that's like kind of like putting him in people's heads, people's minds. So that's certainly, we're getting it at Extreme Rules, it seems like.
I was gonna say SummerSlam.
Oh, really? You think he's going to drag out SummerSlam?
I feel like they could keep it going with these weird backstage things. Because isn't SummerSlam after Extreme Rules?
Yes.
I feel like that's a bit. If they can drag this out in these backstage things to SummerSlam, to be a SummerSlam program, I mean, that's like 6 months of TV they put into a program involving two young talent. That's awesome. That's what we want.
Yeah. Would you like to see any kind of program at Extreme Rules between them? Like any kind of like promo off of like.
I would just like to see that. It wouldn't be bad if that's when Bray Wyatt came back.
Yeah.
If like he's fucking with Aleister Black the next few weeks, and then he fucks with, he like mind ninjas Aleister Black, and then Aleister Black comes to the ring like, where are you? Where are you?
What
and
if
then
he
we can
knocks
get the introduction.
What if he knocks on the door? It's like one of the puppets standing there.
I love
and
that
he
too.
opens it?
I love that too. Any of those kinds of things. That's my guess.
That's a good guess.
Do you think Randy Orton though?
I was thinking Randy because Randy would be a good one for him to fight because Randy's in that place now where he can still do it as a veteran. So putting young guys over, that's kind of his job because they used to put him over.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised, and it'd be a great match between those two dudes and the styles that they fight. I would like to see that. But if it's Bray, I got no complaints.
Yeah. My only thing with the Randy Orton thing would be, and also the reason I went to Bray Wyatt is that the knock, I don't know, I feel like if it had been someone like Randy Orton, do we picture a Randy Orton's character did like a ding dong ditch type thing where he went like and then ran away?
No,
that doesn't seem like something Randy Orton would do.
No, but he didn't open the door.
No, I know, but like an ominous knock at the door like that and the lights turn off. To me, the lights turning off was also a sign of Bray Wyatt because the lights used to go off when he would say, "I'm here."
Good call.
So like that was why I think Bray Wyatt.
We're probably both going to be wrong. It's going to be Kane. God damn it.
It's going to be Mike Kanellis.
I re-signed the contract. All right. Let's go to the last match of the night, and that was Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler in 2 out of 3 falls match. Great wrestling here. This was pay-per-view level wrestling, and the whole time I was watching, I was thinking about our conversation about the Raw, when we did our Raw recap, about how they're elevating this level of wrestling and kind of push back the haters, and this is another example of it. What great back and forth between these two people, and the falls were believable, and I was shocked that Ziggler lost. I actually was legitimately shocked that Ziggler lost, but it makes sense. If you're going to make Kofi this almost unbeatable champion right now, who fights through everything to get the job done no matter what, then it makes sense for him to win. But I really thought Ziggler was going to pull this thing out.
So, yes, great match. I completely agree with everything you were saying right there.
Yeah.
I think that it was on par with their cage match.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And probably better than their Super Showdown match.
I would agree with that.
Good all around. I enjoyed it. Like you said, I think that everyone kind of feels like they have something to prove right now. They're clearly fighting back a little bit. They've been gotten to.
Yep.
And everyone's trying really hard.
Well, there's a sense of professional pride, isn't
yes,
there?
absolutely.
These men and women have fought to get to the top of the game, and to have these people behind them talking shit about them, you get mad. I'm going to show you what I can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I enjoyed it. I do think that the 2 out of 3 falls thing is becoming tiresome.
Yeah, I agree.
We've had like 6, I think, or something like that in
the
the past
gimmick
2
is
weeks.
losing its luster.
Yeah. Very quickly, rapidly losing its luster. And so that got to me a little bit, but I think the match was fantastic. I think that Kofi is really coming to his own as champion. Man. I'm really enjoying this right now. He's finally gotten out of like, hey, I did it mode,
right.
And now he's gotten into like champion mode, where he's even like doing the New Day catchphrases on his own, where like it's not like he has to have the group there to do the like WWE champion thing. Like he's just doing it, and it's feeling unique to him, and it's perfect. I love it. I love everything he's doing. The match was good. Here was my one question coming out of this match.
Okay.
Kofi's been very protected as champion.
Yes.
This is the first pinfall, I believe, that he has taken since losing the title, or since winning the title at WrestleMania.
I think you might be right.
I'm almost positive.
Okay.
Do you think that they should have saved that? Because, I mean, the fact that he got pinned once on a random SmackDown by Dolph Ziggler after beating him 100 times or whatever did seem a little unnecessary. However, they did play up in the match. They said it multiple times on commentary how Kofi wrestled Sunday. He wrestled 2 matches on Monday.
Samoa beat him up.
And now he's in Smojo beat him up, and now he's in a 2 out of 3 falls match. So it does, at least he has like an excuse.
He does. And I think the second pinfall washed it away. But him
because he technically wins the match.
Exactly, but he also fought through the zigzag. He fought through a couple of moments where he could have totally been pinned and you'd have believed it. I think it would have been, what you said would have been more detrimental and would have undercut him a little bit if he had lost the match. If he had gone down and pinned twice.
Absolutely.
If he had gotten pinned twice,
he really would have. Yeah,
exactly. So him winning it now in retrospect, as we talk about it, makes sense to keep
like
him
a strategy because he like knew he was still going to pull it through.
Exactly. And you kind of forget that he got pinned. I don't think it'll carry the same weight because he doesn't lose the title or lose the match. So, okay, so he got pinned. So what? You know, he also got beat up on the outside before they rang the bell.
I do think that Dolph's going to use that as
sure.
as fodder to get into the match. He's like, I pinned him once.
Yeah, that's the thing. What's going to happen next week? Is he going to fight Samoa Joe for the chance to get in there?
I think he's going to, maybe. And he's going to say, I pinned him once last week. Right. Joe hasn't pinned the champion at all. Why is he getting a title shot type thing?
Yeah.
That's what I can see happening, but I just don't think Dolph needs to be involved in this title scene anymore right now. I just don't think. I think he'd be best served in another area of the card right now because I don't think that losing to Kofi repeatedly is helping him at all.
Yeah, no, and we'll see. I mean, he's being used as fodder in essence, and that's just the role he's playing now. And we'll see if it drags out. I'm sure it's going to drag out into next week, and then we'll see what he does to get into the Extreme Rules because I have a feeling he's going to find his way in there to the Triple Threat match.
I think so too.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, well, that's our review of SmackDown Live. Let us know what you thought in the comments section and online on Twitter on the social medias. Ryan, tell them where they can read, watch, and listen to everything we do.
First of all, I feel like I did better today on my phone without looking at it.
That's all right. I never fault you for that. You got stories you're breaking all the time.
I know you understand that.
Yeah.
But a lot of the comments yesterday said that I was looking at my phone too much and that you wanted to punch me in the face every time I was looking at it.
Not true at all.
One of the ones said Rocha looked like he was about to bust out a Hurricane Rana on Satin if he looked at his phone one more time.
Not at all, man. For me, it's always about. I know something could be breaking at any moment because you run that site. So I just have a resting bitch face sometimes. And I get it from my mom. So I'm sorry. You'll catch me doing that. I'll be like this. But I'm actually thinking about sunshine and rainbows. So.
Well, that website that he's referring to is ProWrestlingSheet.com. That's where you can find all the top stories in the world of professional wrestling throughout the week. YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. That's where these videos are. Where you can find the Raw and SmackDown recaps I do with Rocha and Wrestling Sheet Radio, as well as any other video content that I film here. I have a video I think I'm gonna put up tomorrow.
Cool.
Where I did about a 45-minute interview with Rocky Romero about the upcoming G1 Climax tournament, the comments Seth Rollins made about Will Ospreay, his training of the New Japan LA dojo way back in the day with Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan. Lots of cool stuff. So that'll be up probably tomorrow on the YouTube channel. So make sure if you're there, you subscribe, you like the videos, you leave comments. Like I said, I read them. I saw you, Hurricane Rana guy. And so I appreciate it very much. But if you just want to listen while you're driving, working out, all that kind of stuff, you want to listen via podcast, check it out on all the major podcast platforms. Podcast One, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. Just search Wrestling Sheet Radio. You can find everything there.
Cool. There you go. All right. You can follow him at Ryan Satin. Follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. And hey, let us know what you thought about it. Talk to us about wrestling. Follow Ryan because Ryan's getting a lot of interaction with some of these wrestlers going on with all this stuff going on with NJPW and WWE. It's an interesting follow. That's for damn sure if you're a fan of professional wrestling. We'll talk to you next week with 2 more episodes of the Raw recap and the SmackDown Live recap. Don't forget Wrestling Sheet Radio on Thursday night with this guy and his band of merry men. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Take care. And Mandy and Sonya.
Don't just stop.
All right, bye.
ProWrestlingSheet.com